Good afternoon, sports fans, and welcome to Rate Game Live. This is a show that is supposed to start at 11 a.m. on Saturday, Sunday, but here we are at 12:37 p.m. Eastern, and we are kicking things off. So appreciate the patience. Thank you for hanging out and holding on. We are rocking and rolling here on this Sunday. Plenty to talk about in the world of sports. Here's how the story goes. So, my name is Nick Mark George. I am the host. You are the viewer. You are also a key component to what's going on here because it's the only show that, at least that I know of, where the fans, the sports fans of the world, shape it, determine it, are a part of the action. So, how does it work? Well, if you're watching this, chances are you're on Rate Game. But should you be new to the program, this is what happens. Fans on Rate Game rate the game 0 to 10. Very simple. It's a color chromatic scale in line with red, yellow, green, just like the traffic light. 0 red, 5.0 yellow, 10.0 green. Based on those ratings, I take a look. We say, okay, here's what happened in the world of sports. Then we say, was it good or bad? And then the segments and the games and the reviews and the takes that follow is how we bundle it all together and deliver it to you every single day. So to begin, it's pretty obvious. You got to start with saying, like, how was it? How were the sports? Were they good? Were they bad? Were they in between? That's exactly what we do. So hashtag WTSG for Saturday, yesterday, last 24 hours. And from there, we will take a look at Philadelphia 76ers, the Sixers in 7, as the kids might say, a little play on words there. Take a look at Boston and their recent run, or should I say collapse. 2026 is not going to be remembered fondly for Boston fans. And listen, I am a New Yorker through and through, and I have observed, and I think I have suffered through decades of Boston dominance. So I think you'll allow me some grace here as I take a moment to acknowledge that Boston is down bad. We'll take a look at exactly how. From there, we will check in on some baseball. I know for the past couple of days we haven't necessarily been looking at what's happening in the major leagues, but there was a moment last night or yesterday afternoon in Kansas City for not Kansas City, in Seattle. It was Kansas City versus Seattle, honoring the big unit, and this young man on the mound delivered. Hancock, 14 strikeouts. And then we'll close with the Kentucky Derby, which was also yesterday, which we added as an experience. And then we will spin the globe for the 10th country on our way to the World Cup. Today's edition of the Final 48, sponsored by RateGame. Everything on this broadcast is sponsored by RateGame. So here we go, folks. Without further ado, let me get myself set up. Check in on our old dash. And it's not up yet. Okay, here we go. So it's getting interesting because we're here a little later in the day than we normally are. And we got a mixed bag of tricks, 6.16, but it is healthy. There is variety here for sure. 32 games across 5 leagues. 32 games across 5 leagues. Okay, that's right, because we had Major League Soccer and we had the English Premier League. English Premier League, I think, just actually ended right now. So I think we had a couple ratings trickling in from, I believe it was Manchester United and Liverpool. So that is getting tabulated here. We have 307 ratings in the last 24 hours, 472 on the platform overall. So that is canonical, that is archival, that is games of yesteryear being rated today. And that counts towards the overall ratings on the platform, which is something that we're keeping an eye on because we have a goal. And the goal is 1 million ratings, road to 1 million. We do that. We check in on that every Friday. So stay tuned for that. We just did the last one this past Friday. I think we're like 22.4% of the way to 1 million. So little by little, brick by brick, rating by rating. Looking at the spike here, this certainly aligns with Game 7, which was green. I thought it'd be a little bit higher, to be honest, but I understand that there were some emotional Celtics fans that came in and rated with their hearts. I'll put it that way. So we'll take a look at that. But yeah, by and large, mixed bag. So we have 3 ratings from the English Premier League, 2 games finished. The NBA, the MLB rather, brought us down with the 598. And then we also had a massive slate for Major League Soccer, 13 games yesterday. So most of this is made up of 2 leagues. In fact, 28 games from Major League Baseball and Major League Soccer is the lion's share of the ratings here. So 598 for baseball, 587 for soccer, despite the 2 up here, and really the one with the NBA in that Game 7 being the heavy hitter, the premier sporting event yesterday, I'd say, in combination with the Kentucky Derby, which is not listed here. We don't have the ability to tabulate experience ratings. Probably something that we should add, though, now that I'm thinking about it. But that is your look at the wide world of sports as it pertains to RateGame. 6.16 on this Sunday. All right, so let us get to the rundown. Sixers in 7. All right, so yesterday we had Game 7 in Boston, and we had quite a surprise with the starting lineup being announced. Guys that were bench players for the entire season, even in the playoffs, all of a sudden found themselves in a starting position. And wouldn't you know it, they combined for zero points. So they started and they were there physically, but they didn't really contribute anything on the stat sheet. I'm talking about Baylor Shireman, Ron Harper, and one other guy that I didn't really recognize because I'm not familiar with the name, but he was there. He was out there. I'll tell you what, though, that guy Kada, I was also not familiar with. I think he played some minutes against the Knicks like once during their matchup. He had a really good game. He showed up. I think he was at one point like 7 for 7. Started feeling himself late in the game with that fadeaway. I think somebody made a comment. Whoever was on the call was like, "Who does he think he's Akeem Olajuwon out there?" He had like a fadeaway turnaround jumper on Embiid that almost went in. So he definitely was giving it his all, the man Kada. But to no avail because the 76ers did the impossible. They came all the way back and they pull the upset at the Garden. 7.8, and wouldn't you know it, 11-11. So both fan bases showed out here, which is fantastic. You had a dead even contribution from both Boston and Philadelphia. Looking at Boston. Oh my goodness. A 0 and just a massive no. Like a massive no. Oh my goodness. Clearly frustrated. 3.6. New England century of humiliation. Yeah, we'll get to that. But agreed. Certainly this year anyway, 2026, off to a tough start if you're from New England or if you root for Boston teams. Fed, okay. The low rating isn't because we lost. It just wasn't the best game other than probably 5 minutes in the fourth quarter. Boston dies by the 3-point line again. Brown's box score looks good, but he couldn't guard Embiid. Kept fouling him. Missed important threes and got crucial turnovers and offensive fouls down the stretch. Yeah, I would say the thing that stood out to me with Boston's game plan here was putting bodies on Embiid. Didn't really work. I think Brown actually was kind of effective because I think he stole it from him a couple times. But looking at that lineup, like where was Vucevic injured? Was he just not in the game ever? Because wasn't that the reason why you traded for him, Boston? Like wasn't the whole point to have him in there for this specific reason to guard bigs? I didn't see it, or was he injured? Did I just totally miss the memo on Vucevic just not being in this game? Is that why those three nobodies were starting? Because Tatum's injury, we saw it in Game 6. I didn't realize that it was that bad that he was going to be held out of the penultimate game because of his injury history or recent recovery. But you didn't really have an answer for Embiid. I mean, in all fairness, Embiid really wasn't doing himself any favors. He kept holding his knee. There's actually a really good soundbite of him saying he was faking it. But it seemed like every other play, somebody was smashing Embiid's knee. Boston dies by the 3-point line again. Brown's box score looks good, but he couldn't guard Embiid and kept fouling him, missed important threes, and got crucial turnovers and offensive fouls down the stretch. Respect to the 76ers. Beat the Knicks for us. Let's see what happened here. Way to take it like a champ. It was a great series. We trusted the process too and got a championship. Maybe it says 76ers time. I don't think so. But that's a noble rating. Open with the largest playoff win in franchise history. Choke it to Game 7 and then gave Philly their biggest comeback in history. Wait a second. This is a Celtics fan. 7.1. Interesting. Maybe that's sarcasm. Good fourth quarter, but not good enough. Fair play to the 76ers, but man, it is painful to watch. It all returns to nothing. This game made me sick. 10.0. Celtics fans, you guys are crazy. This game made me sick to my stomach. The Celtics were appalling. At no point did they appear to be trying to win this game. I'm so shocked. It might be the worst single playoff game performance I've ever seen from a team. I expected to do so much better. I'm not sure I would call this a historic collapse, but it at least is a mild one. Missoula starting a lineup that includes Harper Jr., Shireman, and Garza. That's the guy. Who is this guy, Garza? I've never heard of him. It's coaching malpractice. What did he think would happen here? As a Game 7 performance, this is singularly bad. There's no way around that, but a lot of things about the Celtics game was exposed in this series. The two critical issues from my perspective were 3-point scoring and fewer shots in the paint. We shot worse and had fewer opportunities to take high percentage shots. At the halfway point of the game, I thought the Celtics season was fraudulent, but they deserve some credit for an astonishing regular season. At the same time, the playoffs are what matter. And then Jack, the emotions were running high for our man Jack Sauer. I will not be reading your take, Jack, because it is laced with profanities. But I do respect that you came in hot and you didn't waste time. You unloaded the clip, per se, and you sparked what seems to be the longest back and forth thread, maybe in rate game history. So good on you for getting the dialogue going, because it's just you versus the 76ers fans just chirping back and forth here. So I will no comment on that. I think it's good for the brand, good for community, just to have a healthy back and forth. Okay, as long as we kind of keep it PG-13 here. And then the 76ers doing no better. F Boston, what a comeback. Hey, Dozier, here we go. Sixers finally overcome the Game 7 boogeyman, a game of runs and a great watch and intensity. Ethan says, holy shit, we actually beat Boston. What an effing game. Words can't describe how happy I am. They should have gone to Maxey sooner in the clutch, but good effort from the 76ers. Let's go. F the Celtics. I love this one. Dogfish Head, 90-minute IPA, and Sixers win. F yeah. It's a great take. So I think, yeah, the neutrals got it right here. I think, as always, it's great to see, though, 3.6 and the 9.3. That is how it should be with the Game 7. 4-3 Sixers take it at the Garden. Your player of the game is Joel Embiid. And we had, I think, the moment that this game was lost for the Celtics, I think we can point to a single shot that I found that I have here. I think right here, if this bad boy goes in, I think it's Celtics Knicks Game 1 on Monday.
Posting on one. Spin. George had it blocked. Brown sends it away. 5-on-4 the other way. Brown the drive. Pritchard 3.
That was it.
Posting on one. Spin.
That was it. He was wide open. Wide open. I think the Celtics had like 2 possessions there. One before that one, before Pritchard's missed, too, where they could have taken the lead by 1. I think it was a 2 that Jaylen Brown missed. He was in the paint, and it went off the back rim. It was like an awkward classic Jaylen Brown shot where like he double clutched and just missed it. But that was wide open. And that's Peyton Pritchard. That's like what he does for you. So just wasn't the Celtics day. Philly comes back from 3-1. So Philly coming back from 3-1 was historical. And we had a post to mark the history. It's the first time the 76ers have won a series after falling behind 3-1. The first time the Celtics have lost a series after being up 3-1. So my buddy Dozier said, the boogeyman, the Celtics have been the Sixers boogeyman since the 80s. The 76ers have historically struggled at Boston in the playoffs. Before Game 5, they were 3-17 in 20 road games against the Celtics since 1982 Eastern Conference Finals, the last series they beat them in. So this has been decades of torture. Now they won 3 straight playoff games in Beantown, a first not just against the Celtics, but in postseason history. Philadelphia hadn't won a Game 7 anywhere since 2001 when they defeated the Milwaukee Bucks 108-91 at home. They hadn't won a Game 7 on the road since 1982 at Boston by a final score of 120-106. Before Saturday, the Sixers were 1-10 in road Game 7s. And I know that Embiid hadn't won a single Game 7. I think he was 0 for 3 going into yesterday with that iconic scene. I think it was the Kawhi buzzer beater of him in the tunnel crying, like sobbing. So he finally exercised that demon. Joel Embiid is the second player in NBA history to average 28 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 blocks in a playoff series. Granted, he came back for 4 games. He was out for most of the series. The only player to do so was Giannis, the Bucks' 2022 Western Conference semifinals, also against the Celtics. Maxey became the first 76er with back-to-back postseason games against Boston with 30 points and 5 assists. He joins elite company in that achievement, including LeBron, Giannis, Kareem, Jerry West, Oscar Robinson. So the slogan, or the entire 76ers motto for this era of basketball with Joel Embiid was coined by a guy who is no longer in the NBA. He's no longer doing anything NBA related. Guy by the name of Sam Hinkie. And for the first time in a long time, he came to this lovely little platform yesterday with just this single GIF. Just this scene, Rudy, this is just like him clapping from wherever he is. I thought he was like in witness protection because of what this guy did. It's kind of like malpractice outside of, Embiid, but here he comes in with one little clapback saying, "Trust the process," which I found to be perfect, fantastic. So now it is Sixers Knicks, and let's see if I got any good sound bites here. Thought it was funny when Arthur, his son, came up and was like, "Oh, I was he lost a tooth." Here's Embiid saying that he was faking it, by the way. His injuries. His banged up knee was like hobbling up and down the court.
How did your body feel as the series progressed? Did it get better, stronger, maybe a little worse? Where was it?
I feel great. I feel amazing. Yeah, I was faking it.
How did your body feel?
So he's a huge fan of the WWE. You better believe that guy knows how to act a little bit, especially when it comes to the way that he appears on the court, whether that's a tactic or not, who's to say? But he knows how to embellish. The guy definitely can make it seem like he's way worse. It's way worse than things are not as they appear with Joel Embiid. I'll put it that way. When it comes to the limps and kind of the facial expressions, he's very good at animating himself. All right, so that is the wrap on the first game 7. So there's 2 more coming at us today with Toronto and Cleveland, and then the Magic and the Pistons. So there's 2 more game 7s before we move on officially to the next round, which begins on Monday. And then we have a hockey game 7. We have the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Canadiens. That is also today. But I wanted to now check in on this little stretch for Boston. So it has come to my attention that we have entered a era in sports which can only be described as Boston being down bad. And so what does that mean? Well, let us take a look. So since the start of this year, and this is Yahoo, so this is not as salacious or anything. I will sprinkle in the things that they're missing. Celtics have just blown a 3-1 lead. The Bruins were just eliminated in the first round by the Sabres. Red Sox is an absolute disaster with Craig Breslow and John Henry and Alex Cora and Jason Varitek essentially jetting off, literally jetting off in celebration after being fired. And the Patriots were destroyed in the Super Bowl in front of everyone. Most rated game in RateGame history. What's not listed here is obviously the scandal that their head coach is now trying, and I'll say succeeding in, at least, to sweep under the rug. So Mike Vrabel, you could put a little, I don't know if there's a coach emoji, but you could put a little guy emoji here. And I'd put Vrabel involved in scandal with Rossini. So Boston, after dominating, I'll say the 2010s with championships and, the Patriots, the Celtics, the Red Sox in there, even the Bruins. Now it seems like there's some turmoil in Beantown, which, after having to endure that for my entire adult life, definitely puts a smile on my face. It definitely makes me happy. Definitely, who knows how long it'll last too, so I definitely have to cherish it. All right, so yesterday in baseball land, we had the Mariners and the Royals, and we had a jersey retirement for Randy Johnson, which it never registered to me that him and Ichiro shared the same number. And I guess obviously they never played at the same time, or they were never on the team at the same time. But this is now the first time that a number has been retired twice. So Ichiro's got his already up there, and then this is pretty cool. They did the reveal, and it's now 251 side by side in Seattle.
2, 1.
They're working. Nice. Very cool. You never see that. You never see double number retire. Like the whole point of getting your number retired is so that nobody else can wear your number. I'm sure it was given 51. He knew Randy used to have the number. He apparently called Randy and told him, "I will not disappoint you." Legend. So it's so crazy though, because like if Ichiro's number is up there already, why did they wait to retire the big unit? So he was there. He was there in person yesterday in Seattle, obviously, to receive the honor and witness the retiring of the number. That's always like a nice ceremony whenever a franchise does this for a cornerstone or keystone player, marquee player. And then this guy took the mound for them. This guy, Emerson Hancock, and the big unit, who is known for the strikeout, the nastiness, the filth of the fastball in his arsenal, got to take in Emerson Hancock, striking out 14 batters yesterday.
3-2. Close enough to call it a wash
2.
there. Here comes his 2-2.
3.
Jensen
Meeting, so he knows
4.
exactly.
had a lot of chances.
Ball just stays straight in.
For this
Oh my
2-2.
gosh.
3-2.
Oh my gosh.
1-2. 2-2.
3.
Hancock's 2-2. Oh, he just threw him up.
Wow. Guy's filthy. This is first year in the league, I think, too, right? Not sure. Both guys deserve it. Yeah, agreed, Flame. Agreed. Oh, hey guys. What's up, Raise Up, dude? Nice to see you. I don't think anybody else has ever had their number retired and then had another guy's number retired. Like, it's kind of crazy for the Mariners to do that or even allow that. But I guess if Brandy blessed it, then I guess it's all good. I guess you're like, what else are you gonna do? Okay. So that was a cool little moment. And the reason why I knew that is because the ratings that came in for it all about this young man, Hancock. Oh, Mariners end up losing the game in 10. Dang. 7-4. Still got player of the game, though. I love that. Such ball knowers on RateGame, man. Randy Johnson in attendance. Cal scratched before the game. Hancock achieved a career high with 14 strikeouts, and the Mariners still lost the game. Baseball is the greatest sport. Yeah, that's a lot. That'll put a smile on your face. Hancock does it again. 14 Ks over 7 innings. Cal scratched isn't good. Hancock looks like a stud. 14 strikeouts and 0 walks. Wow. On the day Randy Johnson gets his number retired, can't make it up. Rosarina with a bonehead play on the bases in the 8th. Just can't let that happen anytime, let alone in a pivotal moment like that. Cags lives for the moment. I hope he leaves the AL Central so I can root for him on another team. That's Cags on the Royals, I imagine. Fantastic stuff. All right, so the Derby yesterday. It's Kentucky Derby, 152nd running of the Derby. We put it up as an experience, as we do for moments like this, for events like this. It seems like a great place for this to live and want to check in on the ratings for the 152nd running of the Kentucky Derby. So if you saw this yesterday or you saw the highlights or the replays like myself, you can give it a rating out of 10. We got 13 so far. And so the story of the day with this was the fact that in the 152nd running prior to yesterday's race, there had never been a horse that was from or trained by a female trainer that had ended up winning. So with Golden Tempo's win yesterday, which we'll take a look at in a second, it was the first time that a female trained horse had ever won the Kentucky Derby in the 152nd running of this thing. That's crazy. That's back to the 1800s, folks. That's why Churchill Downs is just like such an historic backdrop for it. So I had some cool clips lined up. First and foremost, the camera on this lady, Cherie, as like it started to unfold. It was absolutely epic. So she's sitting here with all of her female trainer friends and companions and colleagues, like looking over and watching from her little grandstand view. You can see Golden Tempo in the back here.
As they arrive into the final furlong, Sally is also gaining ground on the far outside as they come to the last 16 of the mile. John Berman in front, selling a new blood shot, Renegade and Golden Tempo, pushing through. Here's Golden Tempo, and Cherie Devoe make history in the Kentucky Derby. In a final time of 2:02.27 seconds.
Crazy. The comeback is like, I don't think does it justice here. We should see like where this horse started from and where they were in relation to the actual track. It's one lap, so you only get 4 turns. This horse was in last place on like the final turn.
He's the first quarter, which is there he is.
Oh my gosh.
Watch him just like make this move.
He's starting to move now down the backside. He was 5 or 6 behind the last horse. Great ground-saving trip by Jose Ortiz. Sometimes when you're that far back, Mike, that everybody makes their decision already, and you're left a lot of open lanes. Now he'll shift him out as he knows he's going to run into trouble if he doesn't, and he takes aim on his brother. And what a tremendous kick by
move.
Golden Tempo.
That's a lot of ground to make up in the stretch of the Kentucky Derby. He's 7 or 8 lengths back at the top of the stretch still.
The numbers on how far he ran are going to be amazing, right? Wow.
Look at this.
And this is the pedigree of this horse. He has been dead last or second to last in almost every race he's run, but made a charge like this in a
Just
moment
by the
like
nose.
this. A historic moment, Nick Luck.
Ooh.
Truly, Mike. And Cherie Devoe is with nephew Maverick.
He's the first quarter, which is
Cherie Devoe. So she was all over the timeline yesterday. Let's see. Very, very animated, obviously. Look, okay, this is so funny. Look at her legs kicking. Everybody in horse racing, I feel like, from like the jockeys to the trainers to like the owners, very, very short. I feel like that's like a prerequisite. Kicking. She's like, hold me back. She's about to throw herself off that. That's got to be the most euphoric feeling ever. Winning a horse race after seeing your horse that you've like worked your entire career to get to that moment, just to be in the race. So obviously they are, interviewing her. She's making the rounds. She's like getting all the attention. And I thought this was so funny. So I don't know if this was like a commercial for Woodford Reserve or this dude is just so oblivious, but he completely hijacks her moment with NBC Sports getting the one-to-one interview, like, how does it feel, all that stuff. Look at homie in the background, and look at how he's holding the Woodford Reserve. I've never seen anybody do this. The product placement is unbelievable.
Once again, you no doubt have been an inspiration to
He's like, you want some? How about you?
Take me back. Who first gave you the belief that you could be here one day?
It was really my husband.
Here it comes.
In the summer of 2017, I was kind of at a crossroads in life. And
she's like spilling her heart, spilling her guts.
And he had the faith in me, and he saw what I didn't see and believed in.
Once again,
it's like, you want who wants you? You want some? This is the special edition for Golden Tempo. How about that? How about that? We won a horse race. How about that?
It was really my husband. In the summer of 2017, I was kind of at a crossroads in life.
Who wants some?
And he told me that I owed it to myself to at least try.
Golden Tempo. Gotta be a product color, right? So funny. Oh, it's the winner's circle, man. Unbelievable. So congrats to Golden Tempo. See some Kentucky Derby takes here. Oh, so Jack Sauer had managed to throw a 10 up on the board yesterday, despite all of the heartache and heartbreak with the Celtics. Oh my goodness, what a race. I called it. Golden Tempo to win 23-1. Odds he started at in the last and came in all the way back. It was 6-speed and Dan and Bourbon fighting it out. And then Golden Tempo comes out of nowhere in the final seconds. 28-3 horse racing. Golden Tempo as your Kentucky Derby champion. Yeah. Very cool. First woman trainer to win, and the Ortiz brothers final two actually had me in my fields. Who would have thunk? There you go. Who would have thunk? Horse racing. My girlfriend and I were screaming inaudibly with excitement louder and louder as we watched this unfold. Much fun was had. Many vocal cords were irritated. Great review. Jack, you predicted it. Cool story with the first time for a woman trader to win. Derby never disappoints. So the Derby, because this is the first race of the three. Golden Tempo can go for the Triple Crown. So I think the next race up is Belmont Stakes, maybe. Let me see. Oh, no. Is it the Preakness, maybe? The Preakness, yes. Okay. So the Preakness is May 16th. Wow. Very cool. I love that they're like a couple weeks after each other. So hopefully we see Golden Tempo go for glory. We got the Preakness, and then it closes with the Belmont. On May 16th is the Preakness. All right. So that is your Kentucky Derby. I think it's like an 8.3. Go check it out. If you haven't already, give it a rating, drop a review. We are now on to the final segment of the afternoon. My favorite and yours. It is time to spin the globe, my friends. Let me get it set up for us. All right, so we are in the double digits here, which means we're now in 39 days before we do this thing. And we have a spin of the globe. Let me get it maximized here. Take up the whole screen. Flame wants his African nation. I know. I knew it. I knew he'd say that. All right, Flame. Hopefully, I mean, it's like the law of averages at this point, right? It's got to be. We got to be close. Just to show you the lineup over here, we have Group C still, Group G, Group L, Group J, Group I. So I think pretty much in every one of those groups, Flame, you got an opportunity here. All right, here we go. Giving her a spin. Oh, there it is. Wow. There it is, Flame. Boom. South Africa itself. How about that? Finally. Yes. Let it be. Shout it from the mountaintops. Here we go. All right. So, boom, right at the bottom. Wow. South Africa's all the way down there, huh? Why did I think that it was not down there? Wait, that's where Johannesburg is? Wow. Oh, yeah, look at that. Loggers. Okay, here we go. So 4 World Cup appearances. Best finished group stage. Okay. Feel you. They're in Group A this time around. If you are from South Africa, you are what's known as South African. Capital is Pretoria. Largest city is Johannesburg. Currency is the African Rand, South African Rand. Population of 62 milli. Government is the Parliamentary Republic. They have 11 official languages. Okay. And they're in the CAF Confederation. Topography and economy. Interior plateau, Drakensberg, Drakensberg. What's that? Drakensberg. Oh, Drakensberg Escarpment. Cape coastlines and Kalahari Northwest. Mining is their number one industry. Platinum is their number one mining industry. Gold, diamonds, automotive, finance, tourism, and agriculture. Main exports are gold, platinum, cars, iron ore, and coal. Main imports, crude oil, refined petroleum, cars, and broadcasting equipment. Okay, my favorite part. So they have quite a colorful flag. The Y shape, the convergence, is the merging of diverse elements of society, a symbolic coming together after the apartheid. So, huge part of South African history is the apartheid. Red, white, and blue, colors from historic Afrikaner and British flags. Then you have the black, green, and gold, which is the colors of the African National Congress and broader liberation movement. And then you have the unique status, one of only 2 national flags with 6 colors, with no official symbolism assigned to individual colors. Interesting. So broad strokes here for the flag itself. Lots going on. Distinctive Y shape in green with white and gold fimbriations, red at top, blue at bottom, and black triangle at the hoist. The rainbow flag. Very cool. All right, so the culture. Iconic dishes. Babodi, bunny chow, biltong, and braai. Wow. All this stuff foreign to me. Did you know South Africa has 3 capitals, Pretoria, Cape Town, and Bloemfontein. So they have a judicial, a legislative, and an exec capital. Wow. One of my personal flags in the tournament. Nice. Like one of your favorites. It's a crazy flag. Key dates, 1994, the end of apartheid. So very recently. Yeah, very recently. Nelson Mandela, legend. 1995, the Rugby World Champions. 2010, they hosted the FIFA World Cup. I remember that. Yep. Great song from Shakira. Shakira should do every World Cup theme. She just gets it. That was the best one. But didn't she do one for Brazil too?
I don't know, but that one like his like stuff.
This time for Africa, Sambina, yeah. I know it was like a smash hit record. First World Cup since 2010. Notable people: Nelson Mandela, Desmond Tutu, Trevor Noah. That's so funny, and Benny McCarthy. All right, Trevor Noah. History at the World Cup: 4 appearances. Group stage is the best. 0 deep runs. 4 early exits. So group stage. Here's their qualification. 28th out of 40. So they qualified on October 14th, 2025 by winning their group. Yeah, they are right there. Ooh, okay. Interesting group. Mexico, South Korea. They what? Yeah, for group stage, Flame, or for did they advance, or you're just saying they won a game? South Korea, Mexico, and Czechia. I don't know. I feel like all three a win in the group stage. Okay. I feel like all three of them are tough. It's a tough group, in my opinion. Group A. You got a host country in there too. So they started off in Estadio Azteca. That's going to be a madhouse. That's going to be a tough first game. Then they go to Houston to play Czechia. Then they have South Africa and South Korea, Battle of the South of the Southern Nations in Vancouver. Very cool. All right, here's their roster. So Ronwen Williams of the Sundowns, he's their keeper. He is South African Premier Division four times with the Sundowns. AFCON 2023 third place. He saved 4 penalties in the quarterfinal. Wow. And he's a Bafana captain. He's the Bafana captain. Did you know, save 4 penalties in a single AFCON 2023 quarterfinal shootout versus Cabo Verde, a tournament record. That must have been electric. Their manager is Hugo Bruce. Then we have a midfielder, also from the Sundowns, Teboho Mokena. South African Premier Division with the Sundowns, also 4 times. AFCON 2023 third place finisher, and he's their playmaker, okay? Named the CAF African Footballer of the Year in 2023. He was a nomination. First Sundowns midfielder in over a decade. Another, wait, did they just take the Sundowns and put them on the African team? Is that what happened here? 36 years old for Themba Zwane, CAF Champions League winner in 2016, AFCON 2023 third place finisher. He's been with the Sundowns for 9 league titles. Spent his entire career at the Sundowns, among the longest one-club careers in modern South African football. Okay, here we go, finally. Lyle Foster with Burnley, 25 years old. He's a Premier League regular with Burnley, Belgian Pro League with Westerlo, and Bafana's first choice 9. Did you know? Took an extended break from Burnley in 2024 to manage mental health struggles. Credited as a turning point for openness in the squad. Very cool. Good for Lyle. That's a big deal. 25 years old, the young man. Percy Tau with Qatar SC, 31 years old. Belgian Pro League regular for years. CAF Champion League winner with Al Ahly ×2. 2 times. Bafana's all-time top assist provider. Was once on Brighton's books for 3 years, from 2018 to 2021, without ever playing a senior PL match, Premier League match. Went on multiple loans instead. So that's Percy Tau. Here's what their style is. Bafana. Possession-focused 4-2-3-1. Mokena breaks lines. Zwane on the right. Opening game opponent versus Mexico. So here's their jersey, which I love. Yeah, these are great colors. The yellow and the green always pops. And I love the white with the yellow trim. It's very, very classy. Oh boy. Okay, this is the first time I've seen a projection that is not favorable. Africa is chaos. Ball in South Africa truly first. Bafana. I've never heard of that before, but it's funny. Very fun to watch. Yeah, should be. I mean, I hope they have some moments here, because they're a tier 4 underdogger. Group stage exit is the baseline for South Africa. So that's the first African nation. Maybe we'll go on a little run here, Flame. You never know. South Africa is your day number 10, 10th day, 10th country on our road to all 48 as we enter 39 days left until we kick this off. All right. So that is today's show. Had healthy viewers today. Anything you want to say, producer?
I'm excited to be back.
She's excited to be back. How was your birthday? How was your birthday weekend?
It was good. I missed Rate Game though.
It was good, but you missed Rate Game. She's the best. All right. Well, that'll do it for me, folks. We have a massive day ahead of us. 3 Game 7s in store for this Sunday. We will be back.
I'll try to keep the taste cleaner.
It's all good, man. It's all good. It's what we're here for. It's what we're here for. Just know that, yeah, look, if you got a hot take, you might get featured on the show. That's just how we do it here. Send me your takes, and I might read them live on air.
Yeah.
All right, team. It has been my pleasure to be here with you today. Have a great Sunday wherever you are in the world. It's a great day to rate some games. My name is Nick Mark George.
Since I missed everyone, I'll come say hi.
Oh, wow.
Hi guys. I'm over here on the other end producing.
You want to say anything to anyone?
No, everyone wished me happy birthday and it was really sweet and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, we love that. We love that. All right. So, yeah, that is our show for today. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Nick Mark George, and I will see you here tomorrow at 9 a.m.